to Seen Better Days. I'm Aria from Hoity-Toity. This is Andrew, my co-host from Loser Parade. And we're here with Katie, who is a professional flautist. She makes flautas. Is that right, Katie?
Yes.
She plays the flute, and not just the skin flute. So
Jesus Christ. I mean, she does have kids, to be fair. Professional with it. Oh man, so this is a lot of the times we're probably gonna have people in bands out, but I wanted to ask my friend Katie here to join us because she is an amazing artist. She's done a couple Loser Parade covers, so I'm a bit biased, but we wanted to have you on to talk to you. How are you doing, Katie?
I'm great. How are you?
Fucking, 2022 still sucks.
Yeah, we're 5 days
it's only
in,
been
so.
5 days.
It has been 5 days, but literally, like, the fucking flu Rona's here now. Have you guys seen that?
I mean, sometimes you need a crossover episode. It's like when I can't think of a crossover. How can I not think of?
Wasn't
I was
like
so into
Arrow and Daredevil? They did
Remember
crossovers?
Flash?
Or
It's like that
Flash,
one
I don't
time
know.
when those guys met.
Yeah, exactly.
I really just blanked. I was like, it's like when the Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teamed up with, and then I couldn't remember the other guy's name.
Well, I don't.
The pink one.
Kirby?
No, not Kirby. The fuck. I think
That
it does
would be a
start with K.
crossover for the ages.
The one with it's the head is the guy's belly.
Oh, Krang.
Crane.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
The brain that's
This is
inside
exactly
like the big
like
skin
that.
suit.
You know what? I'm not going to pretend like I've ever actually been a very big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I think I like it more as a sentence than a franchise.
Teenage
Makes
Mutant
sense.
Ninja Turtles?
I think just those 4 words in that order is more entertaining than anything they could possibly write with those characters.
When they first came out with it, I watched like a fucking The Toys That Made Us or whatever, and they were thinking the exact same thing. They just put these 4 words together and like, all right, fuck it, let's go with it.
Well, because nothing else has a good name like that.
No.
Like, what's your band called again?
Loser Parade.
Yeah, there you go. See?
I mean, Hoity-Toity? Come on.
Hey, I like how our names are like fucking opposites.
They are almost the like exact opposites. It's pretty nice.
We're literally like, we're better than you. And you're like, we're worse.
And it's true with our music too.
Yeah.
So Katie, how do
Just here as my name.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Kate.
Mrs. Shesko.
Oh God, please don't. I get called that at school, and I'm just like, oh God, no. I'm too old. I'm too young to be a Mrs.
How old are you?
I'm
Uh-oh.
33.
Okay.
So I'm not.
I'm
that
22.
old. Okay.
I just want to ruin your life by saying that.
I'm the middle ground here as the 28-year-old.
My youngest sister is 10 years younger than me, so she's 23 right now. So like.
And how does that feel?
Well, when she could drive, I felt a little old, and then she could drink, and I felt even older. And now my oldest daughter is 10, so I feel really old.
I was 10 once.
Her 10-year-old looks at you like a dinosaur, Aria.
Yeah. I was 10 and I turned 10 in 2009.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I
I
got
love
married
saying
in
this.
2009. Oh God.
Mm-hmm. I was 10. I was 10 then.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was in high school.
Way
so
to
you
make
can
me feel ancient. God.
Yeah,
damn.
no, Andrew had a whole existential crisis when he found out that the American Idiot album by Green Day came out when I was 4.
Yeah, as you know, my favorite album growing up and my inspiration for music, to think Aria was a fucking tiny person at the time just fucks with me.
Yep.
I'm feeling all sorts of things right now, and I don't
What's
know
an
if I
album
like
that came
it.
out when you were 4 years old? Do you remember?
Oh geez, no. That would
What
have
year were
been
you born?
90. I was born in 88, so that would have been 92.
Oh, so like Nirvana.
Nirvana. But I don't really remember. My parents, like, my dad listens to a lot of like NPR and like car talk radio, and my mom listened to a lot of country growing up, which I despise both in my right now. So yeah.
I'm the only one here who likes country, and it's because I didn't grow up listening to it.
Probably.
Yes.
I just all country sounds the same to me, so I can't I can't do it. I just can't.
I like a very like specific type of country. I really don't like the new like frat boy pop country shit.
Mm.
And
I want
really
you to know that was new 10 years ago. It is not new.
Okay, well, they still haven't like the country radio hits are still that.
I suppose.
Right.
But it's kind of like being like, oh man, this new trap thing, this new dubstep thing, not the move. Like,
Okay, fair. Okay, but I don't like that. And I really don't like really old school, like super twangy, like Conway Twitty type stuff. And I don't know. Anyways, so Katie, how did you get started in music? As this is your first interview, what is your story and all that?
I have a very long story. So I started playing flute when I was 10 years old. And my mom played flute when she was in high school, so she had it around, and I just want to kind of be like mom and played the flute. So I played all through middle school. I took lessons. By the time I got to high school, though, I was still in like concert band and marching band, but because I'm the oldest of four, and we all play instruments, so by the time I got to high school, my parents were like, all right, you don't need lessons anymore. Next kid got lessons. So I decided, like, as much as I wanted music to be a part of my life, I didn't major in college. I actually went into engineering because I didn't think I could get into a music school. So I did the responsible thing and got an engineering degree. Got pregnant right after I graduated college, like literally the next month. And this was in 2010, so it was the recession. So I couldn't find a job pregnant because no one would hire a pregnant engineer who was going to have to go on maternity leave. So I kind of did the stay-at-home mom thing. And then a couple of years ago, around 2008, I was still in community bands. I was in flute choirs. I was still heavily involved in music. Even through college, I was in the marching band, the concert band, the pep band. Like, music has been a part of my life forever. I met my husband in a honors band of sorts when we were in high school. So, like, music has always been there. But a couple years ago, I decided, I was like, no, I've always wanted to be a musician. Like, now's the time to do it. Why not? So I kind of took inspiration from Taylor Davis, which, if you don't know her, she's a violin player. She does covers of video game, anime, TV music. I kind of found her music on Pandora and stuff, and she had put out a course about like how she grew her career, and I was like, well, if she could do it, I can do it. And that's kind of how I started. I love video games. I've gamed my entire life. I mean, I remember the Sega Genesis and playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and
hell yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog is my shit.
My kids now play it on their Kindle. This is how far we've come. They play Sonic the Hedgehog on their Kindle. I was like, I remember when this was like a cartridge.
Well, now I
had to blow into
I
occasionally.
Kindles were for books, and just books,
right?
Yeah. So I've always loved gaming and film scores and TV scores and stuff like that, and that's kind of what I fell into. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing for the past couple years. I also try to do music on Twitch, which is how I met Andrew. I was doing just improvs and stuff, and he happened to my stream and was like, hey, would you cover one of my songs, or like, would you improv over one of my songs? And I was like, sure, why not? So he sent me over a file, and then after that he's like, well, will you cover it? And I was like, why not? So I think that was like the second music video I ever did, was covering Saying Goodbye from Loser Parade. And yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing the past couple years. I've moved a little bit away from music on Twitch, but I'm kind of getting back to it in 2022. But I have a YouTube channel with all my music videos. I'm on Spotify, Pandora, and I just do covers of video game, TV, anime.
You do TikTok?
I am on TikTok. Some of my stuff's there. I'm not super big into TikTok, but I'm trying to be more into TikTok.
It's the thing right now. Unfortunately, it is the thing right now.
I don't get it.
Neither
like,
do I. And I'm
my
young.
husband sends me TikToks, and he's like, oh yeah, you'll love this. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do with this? He's like, it's supposed to be funny. Like, you're supposed to be entertained. I'm like, I'm not entertained. I spend like 5 minutes on it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I get bored with it.
Yeah.
But I do post on TikTok, so you can find little snippets of my music videos and stuff, and yeah.
As both of you are much more active on TikTok and general social media than I am with my band stuff, do you guys do you enjoy the general like social media aspect of how music is today? Because in one way, like it totally makes it so your music and personality can be much more accessible than it used to. But then at the same time, you also have to be consistently doing it. So
I definitely have a love-hate relationship with it. So because I'm a stay-at-home mom, I have 2 kids now. Between their music lessons and their karate schedule and them being in school and, navigating school in the time of COVID, um, it makes it very hard. Like, my working time is very limited. So trying to balance actually producing music with like promoting the music, I'm is something I'm still struggling with and have a challenge with, because everyone's like, yeah, just post what you're doing, and I'm like, well, I can go 4 days without doing like anything music related, because my
Mhm.
a kid was home from school, or I was just working on arranging, and there's really not much to show for that. Like, do you really want to see a screenshot of a couple of bars? Like, I could post that, but I've done that and that doesn't get much engagement. So like, it's kind of, I don't always have an instrument to my face playing something, so that's kind of hard to share.
Mhm.
But that's definitely part of the process, and I'm trying to show a little bit more of that, because I like to see that. Like, I like to see what other people do in their process and stuff, and so I kind of want to start showing that a little bit more, but I actually need to get my butt down and post stuff. But
Yeah, I don't really have anything to compare it to because I'm young. So like for me, music and social media have always been a thing together. But
fair.
I would say that TikTok in particular is pretty different in that there, because of the whole like duet system and whatever and how all that works, it's like there's definitely an element of people just kind of putting out what the fuck ever they want, and like that being kind of a little acceptable. Like on YouTube, there's certainly like a level of professionalism that you need, to like put something on YouTube and like have people watch it, especially music wise. There's kind of an expectation that if you're doing a cover, you do the whole song. If you're doing, multiple instruments or whatever, you're gonna like, find a backing track or make a backing track and kind of mix it and that kind of stuff, like make it sound good. On TikTok, it's like, okay, here's me in my bedroom, I'm playing the music out of my computer speaker and I'm recording it on my phone speaker, and I've never played this before, I'm just gonna go. And I think that's pretty cool, because you know how they say perfection is the enemy of good, and so there's definitely a lot of people who are just kind of able to do whatever the fuck, and I think that's fun. I think it kind of brings more of the jam element back into music, which I feel like for the longest time, at least when I was growing up watching like music YouTubers and whatever, it was all like full covers, and like if they were like improvising, it was still like multicam setup and like heavily edited and like mixed and made to like sound like a studio type thing. And like TikTok is not that at all, and I like that. Also,
yeah.
you mentioned karate, that your kids do karate. I literally have my fucking headband here from that.
Nice.
I used to do karate.
And I think that like that's something I want to kind of play with in 2022 with TikTok. So because with YouTube and the copyright system, and when you're actually like releasing music for like Spotify and stuff like that, you have to produce your own backtrack. So as a cover artist, I can't just take another person's song, put the flute on top, and release that. Like, in order to legally produce this stuff, I have to produce the entire backtrack. So that I'm kind of going into my music with that. Now, on when I was doing Twitch, and kind of what I want to bring back this year is like, I'll take a random YouTube video and I'll improv over that and just throw that up, because like, as long as it's not saved, there's a whole legal thing behind it, but as long as it's not saved, that's fine. But on TikTok, like, TikTok doesn't really care about copyright shit like that. So I think that that's probably somewhere I can shine, because the production of the backtracks is what takes a good chunk of time. Like, especially because I'm a solo person, just me. I only play one instrument. I play flute. That's it. Um, so all of my backtracks, like all the other instruments, are MIDI, unless I have one. Like, I've collabed once or twice with other people, and so once, every once in a while I'll have like a live performance, but that's all MIDI, and that takes a long time to make sound good and not
Yeah.
super fake. But on TikTok, if I can just like play over like the original song, I should do more of that, because that is low. I hate to say it's low effort, because obviously you got to learn the song, but it's lower effort compared to making a backtrack from scratch.
Yeah, and I think also like it's really cool how somebody will just sing, and then somebody else will just be like, I'm gonna harmonize with this, or somebody will be like, I'm gonna add, bass to this or whatever, and then suddenly you have like a full band arrangement that just started with one person like alone, like the whole like sea shanty thing that happened like last winter.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool, and now I'm dating myself because I feel like that was fucking like new, and like that's what the kids are into these days, sea shanties, and that's already gone. Past.
It's gone.
But that was good shit, like, and like now I think now the big thing is the SpongeBob, Patrick. If you've seen that, if you don't know what that is, don't ask, because I don't know why. It just is the thing.
I feel like TikTok is so fucking sporadic with its
its own world, man. It's its own world.
It is. I remember kind of back what you said. I used to love watching Dave Day's Kurt Hugo Schneider on YouTube. They were like the king of YouTube covers, and I wish they would come and make quote unquote lower effort stuff on TikTok, because I love, one of my favorite follows recently is another local band who you're friends with, Chase Petra, Hunter. Those covers he puts on TikTok are killer.
Well, Hunter's also just one of the best singers I think I've ever met. Like, Hunter can sing literally anything and make it sound like, make you weep. I don't know what it is. Part of it is that she sings in cursive. And then like, part of it is just that like her voice has a lot of really like raw power. And so like, she can literally cover a Kesha song with just her acoustic and singing and like make it sound so fucking artful. So like, that I mean that's just awesome. Like, she's just really cool. I post a lot of covers where like I'll find a backing track on YouTube, or I'll just play over the original recording, and I've never had like copyright issues on TikTok, except for I've gotten 2 copyright strikes on TikTok. One of them was King Mala, who I'm friends with. I did a bass cover of Sugar Blind, and they struck that. And then the other one was I posted a compilation of some of my band's like live performances, and I set it to our own song, My Kitakoma, and it got a strike for that. And I was like, this is our song.
Yeah.
I was there. I know that we wrote it. I was there. We recorded it and everything.
We had the same thing on our YouTube channel, on the Lizard Braid channel. The only video that's on there that has a copyright strike on it is a song that is using an Odd Robot song. And I literally am like, I sent them a screenshot from Andy saying I can use the song, and they still were like, nah.
Dealing with YouTube copyright is a pain in the butt, and I'm currently fighting with YouTube right now because
copyright's fake.
Well, they don't care. Thank you. They don't care about small creators, and so I guess we'll get into it. So I have an art friend who does YouTube videos, and she uses my music in her vlogs kind of as a promotion for me. She's like, I use music, might as well use your music, I like it. And she got a copyright claim from a known scammer who has done this to other people, who's claiming the song, but it's not me, it's not related to me, it's just some random person, because I can't get my stuff into the copyright system, because with my distributor they won't let me add my content to the content ID system because it's a cover. But YouTube won't approve me to put my music into the content system, so someone else is now claiming my music. Jesus. And the only reason I know is because my friend was like, hey, I have a claim. Why I have a claim? And I was like, I don't know, because that's not affiliated with me. And YouTube's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm like, well, you're letting and like this has happened to other musicians. And it's like, you're letting a known scammer take money for stuff that they don't have the right to, because you won't allow small creators to upload their stuff to the Content ID system.
I'll say
And
the total advantage on TikTok side, because I know like your music, Katie, has been used on TikTok like thousands of times. Like your sounds get used quite a lot on there.
And I do get paid for it. I mean, it's minuscule, but I get paid for it.
The TikTok Creator Fund. So
well, not through the TikTok Creator Fund. Through DistroKid, which is my distributor, and TuneCore, I use too. You can say, hey, add my music to TikTok, so when it gets used, TikTok kicks back whatever the rate is to the distributor. The pennies, the literal like fractions of a penny that I get per song use. I think it's been like $3 in the past 2 years of releasing.
Wow, you're going places.
Yeah, I'm going places. $3.
Don't spend it all in one place.
That just helps cover the cover song license, because I'm in the hole just uploading the songs. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the $3 was enough to put the down payment on the house in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey Mouse, by the way, for fucking up the entire copyright system. I think it's great.
Oh, did you guys see that Winnie the Pooh hit open source?
He's public domain now, but only the original, not the Disney version.
No, of course.
But if you have the red shirt on, you're still gonna get sued. But if he's wearing something else, you're good. If he's naked, you're good.
I feel like we should make some loser Pooh Rage shirts.
Shut the fuck up.
Do it. I'll buy one.
It's nice for once to make you have that reaction and not me.
That's just the worst pun that I think I've ever heard in my life.
I'm so happy with it now.
Of course you would. You love a pun in the woods.
Okay, so I actually never mind. I'll tell you about it later.
No, he has a lyric in a song that says, "Like a pun in the woods, it's more than I can bear."
No, okay. She doesn't like that.
That's like not even a pun. It's like essence of pun.
Yeah.
Like it's almost a joke.
It's like a White Claw version of a pun. So Katie, I know you spent some time in the West Hill Symphonic Band and the Mon Valley Community Band. So what are like some of the pros and cons of being in a big group orchestra as compared to being a solo performer?
So yeah, I'm currently not in any. I'm in a flute choir right now. I kind of stepped back. Well, the Mon Valley has not met up since COVID started, and West Hill's like just right now with my kids' schedule and my schedule, it didn't work for me. But I've been in community bands for years, and the nice thing about being a community band is the fact that like you get to play with other people, you get to do live performances, and so like that there's that collaboration going on, and it's nice to just show up, have music on your stand, that's what you play, and then you go home, and it's I mean that's a lot of fun. I think the downside for me is I'm a little bit of a diva. I like to be the center of attention sometimes. So in community bands, I mean, I get solos occasionally, but it's not quite the same. And sometimes the music is really boring, depending on like what the band is. Now, West Hills, they're a high level band. They have a lot of fantastic players. We have some challenging music. It's a lot of fun. Some of the other community bands cater more towards like very
casual.
Yeah, very casual players or people who haven't played their instrument in a while. And West Hills, there's a lot of music teachers, former music teachers, other performers, like, people that are somewhat professional musicians or were a professional musician or have been teaching other musicians for years, so like the caliber is a little bit higher, but some of the other community bands, like it's just a lot of casual people, or you know, people who have retired and are just looking for something to do, and so the music might not be quite as challenging. And sometimes after a couple of years you're starting to play the same songs over and over, and it can get a little bit, I'm like, okay, I've played this version of, you know, Armed Forces Salute between so many different bands at this point. I just can't play this song anymore. Like I can't do it anymore. So that's kind of the downside is with that. And like I like nerdy music, and none of the groups really do nerdy music. It's a lot more classical based, or like show tunes, poppy based, and I'm just like, that's, I mean, that's fun sometimes, but like that doesn't fulfill me like that doesn't fulfill my musical soul. Like I like some of this, I like my nerdy music, I like my video game music, and um I like some challenging stuff. Usually, I mean, sometimes Mike writes me stuff and he puts it on my stand and I want to cry. You know, there's sometimes a limit to that, but it's different. Like it's very different playing with a community band versus doing your own thing. So
What's your audience typically like? Because I know when I was in like choir, we would always play to audiences of exclusively like elderly religious women.
So, it really depends on the group and what kind of concerts they program. The two community bands that I was in, they played almost exclusively retirement communities. So it was, you go into a retirement
Very
community.
familiar to me.
Yes. Mon Valley did mostly retirement communities, but sometimes over the summer they would pick up like a park, or you know, like a park was doing like a series of music, you know, like they would have concerts from local bands or local community bands and stuff like that. So we do a couple of those. West Hills, they like play in like a school auditorium, so the people that come to them are like people from that community who just love the music that West Hills puts on. So like they're a very much more appreciative audience because they're there, because like it's not like, oh, there's an activity going on downstairs. It's like you have to actually drive and come there. And you know, our summer concerts usually get a pretty big turnout too, because we with West Hills, like they put on a nice mix of like classical repertoire with like more popular stuff. So like we did a Hamilton mashup for one of the songs, but then we also did like, we did a piece from an opera. So like that's what I liked about West Hills, is because like it wasn't just all one genre. It's like one conductor really liked classical repertoire and opera repertoire, and another conductor liked to do some of those more poppy show tunes or things from like theater and stuff like that. So it's a really nice mix, but I would say predominantly I played in retirement homes, which, you know, people are always really appreciative, but it's a different audience.
When I was in choir, we had a good mix of repertoire, but somehow they managed to pick the lamest of every genre. So like if we were going to do a pop song, it was Viva La Vida by Coldplay. If we were going to do like fucking like Christmas music, it was always like the religious, like, and really stuffy arrangements of like the religious stuff. It was never like a fun Christmas song. It was always very like stoic and spiritual, because you know that's what Christmas is about if you're 70. Or if we were doing like show tunes, it was never like something like cool. It was like The Lion Sleeps Tonight and one time we did like
that's a fun
choir version of
The Lion Sleeps Tonight? That's a banger. Come on.
Okay, first of all,
there are some bad arrangements of it though.
Second,
I mean, that's probably fair.
You don't want to hear a choir do it. Even if you do want to hear it, you don't want to hear a choir do it. And same with Linus and Lucy, right? From fucking Peanuts. Like, you don't want to hear a choir do that. If anything, you want to hear that on a piano, right?
Yeah.
You never want to hear it any other way. But we did it.
Yeah.
We sure
did. That's the other thing too, is like when you do community bands, like you're starting Christmas music in September. So like
Oh,
by the time Christmas comes, I'm tapped out. Like first off, I'm not a huge fan of Christmas to begin with, but like when I'm listening to Christmas music in September and like 3 different groups, by the time December hits, I'm like, I hate everything. I
listen,
hate
I think
everything.
Christmas has some bangers, but like most of the bangers are like the jazz stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
it is very grating, especially if you, I mean, I sing bass. So like it is very grating to be singing every year, fucking like We Three Kings. And your part is We Three Kings of Orienta. And like you're on one note like the whole fucking show,
Yep.
you know, and
and
like,
altos get shafted.
ah,
It probably
it is,
sounded like garbage, but I had a lot of fun.
choir is maybe the worst thing that I ever did for money. Um,
See, I never got paid for any of my
I had a
community
scholarship,
performances.
so that's what I mean
Oh,
by
okay.
for money. But
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't have done it if not for the scholarship because
That's
it was
fair.
miserable. And I at so many points I was like, if I just run into $5,000, I'm quitting because that's the only reason I'm here.
I loved being in choir. Most of the music probably didn't sound good, but I have good memories of it. Like during our Christmas concert, I remember our teacher, Mr. Duckworth, made us do like a vocal version of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra song. Do 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 do.
Oh, Carol of the Bells.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure like it didn't sound good, but it was fun to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know the Trans-Siberian Orchestra didn't write it, right?
Yes, I know. I just don't know the original.
Just checking. Just checking.
I don't know the original composer.
Yeah.
As a flute player, by the way, why are they called pieces? They're songs. Why are they pieces?
No, see, a piece doesn't have words.
Is that the actual reason?
Yeah, so a song you sing, and a piece you just play.
So are jazz tunes like
Well, I mean,
like jam
in
bands?
jazz,
Are they
you call
playing
it a
pieces?
tune because you're not an asshole if you're playing jazz. But yeah, if you wanted to be technical, you would call it a piece, not a song. But you would probably call it a tune. But also, a lot of jazz tunes, even if they're instrumental, a lot of them are originally vocal songs. So like, I mean, like if you're playing Autumn Leaves, like usually in a jazz like setting, you're not having a singer, but like it is a song that has lyrics that you could sing, you know. But yeah, if you're playing like Beethoven's Fifth, that doesn't have words, right?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
so that's a
Not to my
that's
knowledge.
Sorry, I don't know the numbers. I don't know which one. This is the thing. I think it would be really obnoxious if bands today were like, all right, this is Green Day's 17th. Like, and you just had to remember the numbers. Like, there's no title here. This is the 17th.
I remember the fifth as short, long because there was a cartoon on PBS with Pagan Cat and they had Beethoven and it was Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and like everything was short, long. So that's how
Pagan Cat?
Peg and Cat. Peg
Oh.
plus cat.
Don't be pegging cats, Andrew.
No.
Please don't
No.
peg your cat.
Never again. No,
Okay,
I thought she said pagan, like the religion.
Peg plus
Pagan cat, yes.
Which is why my kid has math equations all over her wall because like if you look in the background of the cartoon it's like on graph paper and there's like little math doodles in the background. Yeah, she noticed that and one day found a pencil during nap time and wrote like math on her wall.
Is it
that
correct,
we still
Matt?
have to paint over. Yeah, it was correct. It was at least correct, but
Okay. Well then, you know what? That's good. You can't falter for that one.
No.
So this question is going to be a little bit like out there, but follow
Okay.
me. We'll get there eventually, okay?
What's the fattest shit you've ever taken?
Well, no.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So we kind of spoke about it earlier, but a lot of the music industry these days is being able to sell yourself, and a lot of people learn
Whoa,
to.
Andrew. Whoa.
I mean, let me just be. He's not wrong.
Right. Well,
Because the number of people I have in my DMs that ask me for nude photos.
Oh God, same.
oh, you know what? Actually, screw that question. we'll get back to this. We were talking about your audience earlier. On your
Yes.
online audience, Twitch streams, TikTok, what is the percentage of people who come from music as compared to simps?
Well, I don't have any simps that pay.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
So they don't even
that's
matter.
my problem. No, they don't even pay me. Um,
Gotta get on
I
the
would
OnlyFans money like Aria does.
No, you should. What I do
So-
is I have an OnlyFans and I just post music stuff on there, but I don't say what's on there. You have to pay to find out. So if you're horny, you just got to find
everyone
out.
tells me that I should start an OnlyFans, and it's been a little bit better since I've stayed off Twitter for the past 6 months. But
Oh God.
then
How's that?
But then they started finding me on Instagram and on TikTok, and the occasional YouTube comment. But I would say like most people are there for my music, which is kind of surprising. I get people that like ask me like, "Hey, will you send pictures?" And I'm just like, "No." Or they're like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like I'll answer any DM because like I want to connect with people, and I'm at a point in my audience where like I can respond to every DM. And usually they're like, "Oh, are you married?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the last time I heard from them." So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
how
them.
you can't spend 2 seconds in my content and realize I'm not married, because like my husband is like a big like partner in my music career. He does a lot of my backtracks, he does my mixing, he does, he shoots all my music videos, he helps with the color correction of them. Like, he has his hands in every part of my music, so I talk about him frequently. So like, you spend any amount of time on my social media, you'll realize quickly that I'm married with 2 kids. Like,
They're
I
like,
don't make
"Did you
a
divorce him
secret of
yet?
this.
How about now?"
I did have someone who's like, "Well, are you gonna divorce?" And I'm like,
Oh no.
"No."
What do you got?
Like, do you
I
realize?
love how bold people are on the internet. Like,
Yeah. I'm like, you realize he's funding all of this, right? Like, we are very fortunate that he has a good enough job that I can stay home as a stay-at-home parent with the kids, and we save to like buy our audio equipment or upgrade our studio, or like my music is mostly funded through his job. So like, unless you plan on doing all of that and then hiring a producer, because again, he does a lot of my music production, yeah, I'm not divorcing him anytime soon. So
Like how, like you left the door open about this much, and that's enough for people to DM you.
yeah, apparently. So I'm just like, I'll chat with you. Like, you want to be friends, we can be friends, but like, I'm not gonna randomly send you nudes. That's not the kind of content creator I am. Not like, I have nothing against people who do that, but that's just not stuff that I personally want to do.
Earlier today, didn't someone on your Ask Me be like, "I know you're gay, but do you like dudes?" or something along those lines?
somebody messaged me. They were like, "Is there a boy you like? I know you're a lesbian." And I'm like, So hold on, read that back to yourself, what you just wrote, right? Like, let's backtrack a second. Okay, so, all right. What's your favorite cheeseburger? I know you're vegan, but like, how do you like your steak? I just don't. I had one guy who messaged me. He was like, "Hey, will you sing a song for me?" And like, first of all, like, I don't even sing. Like, I don't post that. Like, I don't do that. But second, I looked at his profile because I was like, he was talking to me like as if he knew me. And I'm like, "I don't know you." And I look at his fucking profile, and in his bio, he had me like tagged, like implying that like we were dating. You know how like people will do that where they put like a heart emoji and somebody's like at in their bio when they're dating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I've never met you. Get my name the fuck out of your bio." Like, what? And this person lived on like the other side of the planet, because most of my simps do. I have international simps. I'm like Pitbull, but worse.
Oh man. Oh,
It is. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I've had exactly, in my time being in the band, I've had exactly one message ask me for feet pics.
Was it your wife?
It was not.
Was it Miguel?
It was not, surprisingly. I don't fucking remember. There was that, and I got slightly uncomfortable for a little while a few years ago. There was a couple people who would comment on Loser Parade shit all the time and be like, "Oh, daddy," and I just makes me uncomfortable.
They were talking to Helen, not you.
No, it was on pictures of me. I would understand if it was Helen. Have you seen Helen?
Yeah, and
Helen
didn't you have somebody take pictures of you and like put them on their profile to like catfish?
Yes, that just happened recently. People are catfishing as me. Guy, you can shoot a lot higher. I'm not saying I'm ugly, but like.
But here's the thing: nobody would suspect that you're the catfish.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. I'm like
they've got pictures of Ryan Seacrest, you're gonna know instantly. But Andrew, oh boy.
Right? They look at me like, oh, that's like an LA 5. That he's probably real. Jesus Christ. I honestly had forgotten about that.
8.5.
Oh, in the IE, I'm a catch. In the IE, I'm a catch. In LA, I feel not good looking.
I don't know how people in LA exist.
Right?
I like LA except for the getting there and coming back and traveling within it, and also parking and also walking and also the public transportation.
Yeah,
and
same.
also being still.
I've never been to LA, so.
It is both fun and horrible when we get a show offer in Los Angeles. It's like, all right, great. You get to play for half an hour, but prepare for 2 hours of travel both ways. And then if you want to support anyone else, like, it takes up your whole fucking day.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what I was going to ask earlier, a lot of music today is about selling yourself, right? And I know that a job you used to have was as a newspaper delivery person. And so is there anything you take from that? Because a lot of people who do jobs like that, deliveries, have to hustle and everything else, that you still use within your music today or whatever you
do. You ride around
today.
on a bicycle and chuck your flute at people?
Are you a stalker? Because I haven't delivered newspapers since I was in high school.
I do my research when I do these.
So yes, he is a stalker.
How did you find that? Like, I feel like I should back away slowly.
Also, is this your social security number? 72?
Oh, by the way, real quick. Yeah, no. No, just you know, you look up a Facebook profile and you go into the Wayback Machine.
True. That's true. We are friends on Facebook, and I have a lot of stuff back then. Yeah, I used to deliver newspapers way back in the day.
Back in the 90s.
It was back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, actually no, it was probably the early 2000s.
So when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, it was probably around 5th grade. So that would have been early 2000s.
Were you worried about Y2K?
Yes. So funny story. So for 5th grade, it was 1999. And like part of our science class, we had to we had to do we had to invent something for science class, and we put on like a little like science fair with our inventions, and I invented like a Y2K survival kit.
Beautiful.
So yeah. So back. Oh god,
that would have been when you were delivering newspapers.
Yeah, I think that was around the time that I started delivering newspapers. I had a paper route of like my street and the street next to me.
I just want to be the Sean Evans of like music interviews. I want the people who we talk to be like, whoa, how does he know that?
Yeah, you have to dig deep for that.
I don't know who Sean
I'm
Evans
sure it's
is.
mentioned somewhere.
Oh, he's the host of Hot Ones.
Who?
Hot Ones on YouTube.
Never seen it.
Oh shit! Seriously?
Oh.
Yeah.
I want you to know the
it's
things
like
that
gigantic.
I watch on YouTube. I watch like Jenny Nicholson, Technology Connections, fucking like Cybershell.
Like
ringing any bells?
Like no. To be fair,
I watch people talk about. I watched. I like Quentin Reviews. He did like a 6-hour-long video on the Nickelodeon sitcom Victorious. He also has 2 4-hour videos on iCarly, and he just talks about how they're weird. And he also has a lot of content about Garfield. And I just watch slightly obnoxious people talk for hours on end about things that I only vaguely care about. That's the content that I watch. I watched Jenny Nicholson has like a 2-hour video on the Vampire Diaries. I've never seen a second of that show. And the video is called The Vampire Diaries Video. And I watched all of it twice. And I only know about that show through the video. But goddamn, is she entertaining? Because she will just pick apart everything. I don't have to watch the show ever now. I know all there is. That's it.
That's how I feel. I watch a YouTuber called Dead Meat who like covers horror movies and things like that. And I have very little interest in horror movies, but he's so fucking good at it that is like I watch for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a hot ones after this. Like you've never heard of like the chicken wing eating show where they like do interviews as they're eating wings and they get hotter and hotter?
No.
Okay, yes. I think Billie Eilish was on that.
Yeah, she was.
And I think people were talking about how they were like impressed that she could eat as hot of wings as she was.
Yeah, even though she did not do a very good job, but yes.
I don't know. It was somebody. It was some celebrity. It was some teenage celebrity who people were like, wow, she can eat hot wings good. And I'm like, okay.
Olivia Rodrigo was on there recently.
Okay, maybe it was her. I don't fucking know. All I know is that there was somebody where people were like, wow, she ate a lot of hot wings. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that's the most notable thing about her, but okay.
I mean, like top 10.
I think top 10 things about Billie Eilish. The music, right?
Well, it's one.
The green hair that looks like a Minecraft grass block. That's it.
Cool. Chicken Wings 3.
The Guy Fieri shirt.
See, there we go. So before we like completely wrap up and everything, what are some other music you're working on? What's coming out anytime soon? You have anything scheduled, Katie?
I do. So I am releasing an EP it's going to be 4 original songs, but it's based on Avatar Last Airbender.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this is part of a collab with another YouTuber, Bad Astra. She does a lot of science-y videos, and she approached me and was like, will you write me 4 songs based on the 4 elements for this video? And I said, yeah. So we're getting the album art, should be finished this week. I'm very excited. So it's 4 original songs. It's in the style of Avatar music though. So it's not a cover, but it's like if you listen to Avatar music, that was kind
like
of
Eastern
the inspiration.
Inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 songs based on the 4 elements: fire, water, earth, and wind. So I'm really excited about that. That should be coming out mid-February or end of February. I just dropped Burn Butcher Burn from Witcher Season 2. That just came out. I just did a collab with Caitlin Finley. She's a cello player from Kokiri Forest, from Ocarina of Time. And I think we have a couple of Ruined King, which is League of Legends, like the turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Mike wants to do a couple songs from that for covers. So there's no dates on that. He was just like, hey, I really like this music, we should cover. And I said, oh, okay. Which is usually how our discussions go. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is the EP coming out. I'm really excited because it is 4 original songs, which I haven't done a lot of. I only have 1 other original song out, which again was I wrote for someone else. So, but
that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm very
When's
excited.
the Hoity-Toity cover coming out?
Yeah, get on it. Again, I like how you're doing the 4 elements, right? But it's for like a science YouTuber, right? You said?
Yeah.
So like, is she gonna ask you to do like the whole periodic table next? Is that what's coming?
I hope not.
How many elements are on the periodic table? Does anybody know? Because I don't.
More than I care to.
How do you write a song about carbon?
I don't
or
even
a piece about carbon?
I don't even know. I don't even know. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. There'll be music videos for that. I'm waiting for her to release her video before I even kind of work on those music videos, because she asked me to, and I said okay. I'm pretty easy to work with. I'm very flexible, and mostly someone's come up to me. They're like, "Hey, will you do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Just might as well.
Why not?
That's the spirit, man. That's how you do it. It's just why the fuck not?
how I hope I get my name out there to more people, because I'm really bad at promoting myself. I don't know how to effectively promote myself, which is why I think like my audience is still so small. But I don't know, and I think my problem is like I'm interested in a lot of things. Like I said, a lot of my Twitch is my gaming now, so um, I do a lot of gaming on Twitch, and I like doing music, but I don't know. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of things I like to do.
Enough. Yeah, Aria, anything Hoity-Toity coming up?
We're going back in the studio at the end of the week.
Jesus, again?
Yeah, but what do you mean again?
I don't remember if it was last time I talked to you about this, but weren't you guys like over schedule already?
Yeah, we were over scheduled and we had the last couple dates coming up, and then our guy got fucking pneumonia. Remember?
No, I did
And
not.
so,
I don't think you told me that, or if you did.
Yeah, so he got sick, so we had to reschedule everything, and so this is the rescheduled part.
Okay, that makes
We
more
still have
sense.
to finish the songs. Just because we're over scheduled doesn't mean we just stop recording.
No, I thought you had already, in my head, you had already done the original dates and then more dates, and now you were going in.
No, we have
even
done
more.
the original dates, and we have 3 more.
Okay,
2 or 3 more. We'll see. We'll see what we need.
fair enough.
And here I just
Ideally.
record right here. This is my studio. This is where I do all my recording.
That must be very nice.
Much
It is
more
very
cost effective.
convenient.
Any shows you want to plug or anything, Aria?
If they don't get canceled,
Oh, fair.
assuming that Omicron doesn't ruin it, we're playing at the Smell with In the Morning and Susie True at the end of the month. I think on the 28th, whichever one's the Friday.
Okay. Loser Parades ain't got shit going on. We canceled everything.
Yeah, probably smart.
We're well after our super spreader event, you know.
Super spreader. You got like 6 people?
I think 10. Miguel and Ari
Really?
Miguel ended up with COVID.
Oh, did he?
He doesn't fucking say anything. He's like so uncommunicative.
I feel like you should probably be communicative about that.
Probably because him and Adria both got it.
Did he get it from that date or?
I don't. So he thinks he got. Well, I'll tell you later. It's fine.
Okay.
He's good. Everybody, don't worry about it. He's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Loser Parade. We're going in studio in February. We have a new single coming out momentarily, probably March-ish.
Wow, that fast.
I mean, everything's gonna be done the one day, right? Probably. I mean, I guess it depends on how long it takes them to mix and master.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just used to mixing and mastering taking like ages.
That's fair. We'll see. I've never worked with this guy. We'll see how quick he is. But from Seeing Better Days, we'll see you guys next time. And we have a lot of really cool guests lined up. That I don't know if we should say who they are or not, but
let's not, because we have no idea what order we're doing anything in.
Fair enough. Thank you again, Katie, for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Real quick, where can people follow you?
Pretty much you look up Katie Shesko. You can find me anywhere. My website's katieshesko.com. You can find me on twitch.tv/Katie Shesko. YouTube is youtube.com/Katie Shesko. Instagram, Katie Shesko Flute. Yeah.
What's your phone number and street address?
Hold on, I know. Give me a second.
Yeah, he probably has it because I sent him a Christmas card.
Oh yeah, I actually do have your address. Yo.
I don't remember if I put my address or if I put my P.O. box. I think
P.O.
I put my
box.
address. Was it the P.O. box?
Yeah.
Smart, because
so
you don't
don't
want
quite
to
have my address.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time.